Hey y'all, in this lesson, this video, I'm going to show you how to check your answers for your project. You're going to need your equations as well as your graph. Now, before you check any of the equations on your graph, I'm going to have you check the equations that you converted, okay? So what you're going to do is over here, you are going to type in, for example, I'm going to do line 3. So I have a regular equation and standard form for line 3. I'm going to type in my regular equation of y equals negative x plus 5. I'm going to hit enter to get a new line. And then I'm going to type in my standard form, x plus y equals 5. And you see that it put that blue line right on top of that red line, okay? So I can turn off the blue line, just see the red. And as you can see, those are right on top of each other, which means they're the same line, which means I did convert that correctly. So you are going to test all of your equations that you converted to make sure that you did them correctly. If you did them correctly, they will be the exact same. If you mess up, if I did this as negative 5, notice that it shifted down, okay? It shifted down to negative 5 here instead of positive 5. So that tells me I need to do so if it ends up being parallel, I need to change the sign on my number on the right side. If I accidentally put x minus y, well, now my slope has changed. So if your slope is different, that's a sign that you need to change something with the x or the y. Okay, so this should be plus, and then it's back to normal. So then you erase this and check your next one. So now I'll check y equals, I have 3/4 x, so I'm going to type 3/4, and it automatically puts that in. If it's not automatically putting that in, you can pull up this keyboard, and you can do it this way as well. Click this functions, you get other stuff, but you can type a fraction by using that slash on your iPad keyboard. X plus 19. Now I can't see it because it's all the way up here. My window is a little bit too small, but I can zoom out so I can still see the center and my line. Again, I'm going to hit enter, and now I'm going to type that I did 3x minus 4y equals negative 76. And again, you see it puts that green line, if I turn the green line off, there's blue and green right exactly on it. If I forgot to do my 76 as negative and did it as positive, there you see that parallel line. Or if I accidentally did plus 4, you see there's that line sloped a different way. So that is how you're going to check that you correctly converted. When you are ready to check that your equations are written correctly on your graph, you are going to do you're going to use the settings first. So right here, this graph settings, this little wrench, you're going to open that up. And on x-axis, you want the x-axis to mirror how you did your graph. So if you did your graph up and down like I did, so if you did it long ways like this, for the x-axis, you are going to change this to negative 14 and this side to positive 14. For the y-axis, you will change this to negative 19, and you will do this side to positive 19. Okay? I also suggest in this step saying 1 and 1, then you can see all of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all that stuff. You can then close this, and now this is essentially mirroring what your graph should look like. So now when you go to type in all of your equations, I'm going to go and type in all of my 10 lines. All right, so you can make sure you have the right number of lines because you can see the number here. So I have 10 lines and I have 10 equations. And now I am just looking at this view and deciding, does it look the way that I expect it to in comparison to my graph, okay? Now, the window is a little bit kind of skewed, but that's okay. But you are checking that things are going where they are supposed to, and making the shapes that you expect them to, okay? So you are checking and making sure things cross exactly where you want them to cross. So that is how you check your equations. Once you are happy with what you have, then you are done with part 4. There's nothing to turn in, and you can begin coloring. When you are done coloring, then you are going to submit a picture of your equations and a picture of your graph to the final assignment, to the final submission that is due on Friday, May 17th. Okay, again, you will be submitting your equations, and I should also say, and the page where you showed work. So your equations and your work and your graph. So that's 3 or 4 pages that you should be submitting. Then you are done with your project and you can go and ask me what to do next. Good luck.